Hey, good morning. I'm Angela Hughes, the luxury travel entrepreneur, and we are back with our series here on Facebook Live. It's been a hot minute because we are busy selling travel now and not so busy sitting on Facebook, which is a great thing. I'm here today to help you learn business strategies, how to sell more luxury and premium space. And today we are talking all things Maldives. I'm here with Daniel Santiago Diaz from Koveli Travel.
Hey
Yay,
guys,
we've been
how are
trying to get
you?
together for a long time. Do you want to just introduce yourself for a minute? Because we
Sure.
had you on during COVID when you were with Regal, and you're still with Regal Wings. So let's not
Yeah,
let's
I'm
not.
I'm an independent contractor, so I can get a couple of accounts. But my name is Daniel Santiago, and I want to say the business development manager of Koveli Travel, which is a DMC that specializes in the Maldives, offering more than 130 resorts out there from all type of price points. So again, we're here to help you guys sell the Maldives.
Yeah, so Maldives, we were just talking before the show started about how hot the Maldives is right now. Let's just talk about how that's grown as a destination, really. I was saying 5 years ago, we didn't really, it was more of where the British went and the
Mhm.
Europeans
Yeah, no,
went.
sure. That's true. A European went and a lot of the Africans as well. A lot of the African countries and Middle Eastern countries really love the Maldives. But I think social media, of course, has grown the destination. Obviously, we've seen all the videos, we've seen the over the water bungalows, we've seen the
Mhm.
kind of romance landscapes that obviously Instagram shows us. But the idea is to kind of open the Maldives up because we have seen the marketing kind of geared towards one side of the market, kind of the more luxurious, romantic side. But there is a lot more. There is adventure, there is sports, there is art, there's all inclusive side, there's music. So there is a lot of different instances where travel advisors can be able to kind of pivot the client from one destination to the Maldives because again, it's something that it's up and coming and people really, really love it, and we have options, which is amazing.
Okay, let's take this down just a step for even like a rookie agent. Give us a geographical location for the Maldives because honestly, a lot of people, it's not even on their radar. So let's talk geographic. I've got a series of questions that I'm going to ask you that are kind of elementary. So even our newest agent can like learn from this right now.
Perfect. No, and that's what we want. Basically, the Maldives is a cluster of islands that is between India and the south coast of Africa. So imagine Seychelles, Mauritius, type of that area. It's like there's basically a necklace of islands. These are called atolls, and the islands are kind of around different lagoons and different lakes that have an array of different natural wildlife, from turtles, manta rays. You have whale sharks, so you have a lot of different atolls that have very different experiences and very different wildlife. Basically,
Okay, so,
getting there is
so let's,
about,
let's break that down for a minute. Islands are called atolls there. So that's
yeah,
a key geographical word I want people to walk away with today.
yeah,
Atolls.
because
That's
there's a lot of atolls that are very
A.
famous by itself. The atolls are some famous by itself because of the biodiverse nature of it. So some hotels will tell you we're in Ba Atoll, or we're in X or Y Atoll because that's sometimes the calling card for it.
Okay. And so how many islands again are there in the Maldives? Because I
There's
feel like
about
this is
1,200 islands.
1,200 islands. And so how does an advisor break down which islands? Now, are there like top 5 islands there for a
So
new
right
advisor?
now, I think it's per market. I think there are islands that are bigger islands that have
Okay.
rooms that are 200 rooms. We have islands that are 15 rooms. So you can break down depending on privacy. Obviously, you also have the biodiversity. So if you have clients that are specifically wanting to go see something, then there's some specific hotels that are on that area. You also have again a sports from surfing, that you have specific hotels that are on that area of just a surf spot as well. So again, you can break it down. One of the other things is wellness. You have hotels that are only based for wellness. So rookie clients can not only think about the Maldives as just being an expensive area for romance. You can say, hey, I have this client that loves to just do spas for 4, 5, 6 days. And we have hotels that are basically catered to just relaxation. So again, it all depends on what they want to sell.
Okay, so if an American advisor or British advisor, because we've got people right now watching from Africa and Europe that I'm seeing coming in. Okay, tell me which airport let's, because I want to just start with all the basics. Which airport would someone fly into if they are selling Maldives for the very first time?
So you fly into Velana International Airport. If you want to find the code, is MLE. I
Okay.
want to say the biggest or the most frequent carriers that go out there is the Middle Eastern carriers, so Turkish, Etihad, Emirates, Qatar are normally the ones that have daily flights. So from the US, the airlift might be easier for those Middle Eastern carriers, but you do have also European countries, London, Frankfurt, Rome, Paris, that go into the Maldives. It can be a couple times a week depending on the season.
And I've had clients that have gone to Dubai for a few days to break it up and then on to the Maldives.
That's
I think
normally,
that's always, it
yeah, you can
always.
do that with Istanbul as well. You can do that with Abu Dhabi as well. That has a couple of new art, like the Louvre, and then now Qatar, of course, has the soccer game. So you have a lot of people doing the
Right.
soccer game for a couple of weeks and then going into the Maldives. Other people that are doing actually extended vacations on the honeymoon side. So we had a client that did Baglioni up in Italy and then the Baglioni in the Maldives. So again, it's something that you can actually extend it. Same thing as if you go into a safari. A lot of people end safaris in Tanzania or Zanzibar. Why not the Maldives? You can actually get from Nairobi, you can actually get to the Maldives, as well as from Johannesburg. So again, it's not something now clients that are looking for an extended vacation. You can still have even India. You have clients that go to India for a cultural tour for a week, and then there's like 17 airports or 16 airports in India that go to the Maldives. Not every day, but some frequency. So a lot of them just end up in the Maldives.
And I feel like another good combination is Sri Lanka and the
As
Maldives
well.
as well.
Yes.
Super hot. Okay. So now the next question I know that viewers are going to have is, once you're there, you need to get to the island. And this can be an added cost because depending on
Not
which
with Koveli.
the islands that you're
Koveli, we always include the transfers. So the price
Okay,
that
so
you
let's
get
talk
to
about
the
that. You're with Koveli Travel, you're a DMC,
client.
and you can put together all things. And so we're going to come to that whole thing. So you fly into Mali, then you're going to have to take some type of water plane over to the island, and Koveli Travel is going to help you with that piece.
Yeah, it depends on how far the hotel is. You can take either a seaplane or a speedboat or a combination of both. There are also smaller airports. For example, there is a cluster of hotels that has a small airport that does a little bit more high-end hotels. You can actually fly into it as well. But yeah, once you get into the airport, you just have a hotel representative with the brand of the hotel that obviously your client will know where it is, and that will take them back to whatever the transfer will be. They can even take a car out to the seaplane airport or the speedboat, and that's about it. That's the same way coming back. The hotel will schedule the pickup for the transfer, and it's all based on the airfare time. So depending on where they leave and when they come in, obviously our team will help you out. That if your client gets in too late for the seaplane, because sometimes seaplane ends at 4 p.m. depending on how the sun is, then we can either schedule a stayover in the city, or we can schedule some other type of transfer if possible, of course.
Okay, so tell me with Koveli Travel, give us just in 2 or 3 sentences with that, because we want to spend most of our time talking about how to use Koveli. Can you just give us a short answer on Koveli and who they are and why any of these advisors would want to use your company?
So we're a local DMC that knows very well what we sell because we visited all the hotels. And one of the things that we have that other suppliers don't have is inventory. So we have a lot of agents that say, "Oh, I have this supplier, but it only has 30 properties." Try 130 properties. I can actually sell anything under any type of price point that your client is looking for. I have it. I won't sell you something that's over $15,000 only.
Okay. So tell me how somebody can get started with you. What would what would an advisor do? Like, let's do start to finish. Like, what are the 5 steps to like booking a trip to the Maldives? I think this is important for people.
So we always have a couple of questions that are good. Budget for your client, it's always good because again, we want to be realistic on some sort of level. Dates,
so know your budget.
Yes, dates of course are important because normally we say 7 to 10 days is good for the Maldives. Kind of lower than 7 days, it's too short for the US, especially on the travel time. It's about 16 hours plus to fly to the Maldives. So if you're going to take them all the way out there, so we say 7 to 10 days. Once you have that, you can either contact our reservations team, which is a completely human, or we do have a booking platform. Of course, we know that learning the destination kind of takes time. So we
Mhm.
always encourage agents to first use our reservation team so you can have a conversation, ask questions about about the property, what they can do. We always give you options. So instead of you going into a platform and having this list of hotels, we say, you know what, this hotel might be good for the budget and for what they want to do. And again, once we kind of start building that confidence, we do have a state-of-the-art booking platform. You have live confirmation that you can actually book right there. You can actually do payments right there as well. You can download quotes and invoices as well to send to your clients. So again, we kind of are of a hybrid human technology company because we actually understand the destination is difficult, but we want to help you out.
Okay, so first of all, you're going to contact, well, okay, let's talk about your Facebook group first, because I think
Yeah.
it's important that people jump in your Facebook group. I've gone ahead and linked that in the original video, and we'll put it in the comments of this video today as well. But where can people find you on Facebook? Because I'm in that group, and I know that every single day you're posting really valuable content to help people sell more Maldives.
So
So
yeah, you guys can link up, like you said in the comment, but Maldives for US Travel Agents by Koveli is the group. We are going to start doing once a month destination trainings, which I think is very important for the agents to kind of grasp. It's just a 25, 30-minute call of, like you said, where's the Maldives? What can I do with it? Where are the markets that I can sell? Some of the properties you guys will see. And just learn a little bit about the destination. And again, we're always going to be here to kind of voice questions. I'm always there answering questions. And if you guys have any specific clients that is looking for something special, just reach out and we'll definitely help you out.
okay, we already have a question. What is the website for Koveli?
So the regular website is koveli.com. To sign up is Koveli, KOVELI.live, LIVE. So if you go to koveli.live, you can sign up to a platform on the right bottom side. It says agency registration. Just click there. The team will send me an email and I'll reach out to you guys to finalize the onboarding.
Okay, let me make sure I've got this right. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Okay, so Koveli.live is
No,
the
yeah.
website.
So without the www, you can just do koveli.live.
Okay, so that's where you're going to find them at. He's also got his Facebook group. Okay, so someone calls up, they're a rookie agent. They really don't know what hotels are out there. How do you guys decide which islands somebody should go to? I mean, again, you've got what did we say 1,200 or 1,500 islands over there?
Well, it's 1,200 islands, but I think it's 180 or 190.
So
So again,
180.
we're
So
still developing islands and there's still kind of new hotels coming up. So I think
okay.
we always ask for the first of the agent if they have sold the Maldives. Of course, if it's an unknown destination, we always try to guide them. I don't know if you've ever seen one of our quotes, maybe from one of your agents, but the quotes are long. They kind of explain what the hotel is, why are they good for what, why did we offer it specifically if you have a special location, like I have a honeymoon. So why would we choose this hotel for the honeymoon? Obviously, we show you room options depending if you want a villa. Obviously, there's rooms that you can imagine. I have hotels that have 24 different room types. So again, rooms can be different even in the views. There's some rooms that are sunset view, some rooms that are sunrise view. So we kind of narrow down that for you guys as well. And then we also give you information. We always give you a link that will click into a Dropbox, and that Dropbox will have pictures. So again, if you are looking at the quote and you want to send it to your clients, or at least say, hey, I'm looking at this hotel, what do you think? You can actually download those pictures to your computer and send it over to your client. So again, it's a very symbiotic type of relationship. We're always there to ask questions or answer questions that you guys have. So again, nothing is too crazy. We've actually just had a request about somebody sending an underwater photographer. So those are things that we can actually help out as well. So it's the whole thing. Obviously, once they're in the hotel, they're taken care of because this is a one island, one resort type of thing. So everything that they're going to eat is going to be right in the resort, depending on the board that they get. But outside stuff, we can always help with as well.
Okay, stop right there for a minute. What's a healthy budget for the Maldives?
I want to say a 7,000 plus is always a good for, we say, I want to say couples actually, depending on when the time frame is. I've sold couples for a weekend and all inclusive for $7,000 on low season, which is normally summer. Yeah, summer is low season. So whenever, same thing as the Caribbean. When it's hot in the north, Caribbean prices kind of cool down. Same thing in the Maldives because it's hot. somewhere up in the European areas, then the Maldives kind of gets a little bit more attainable. And then obviously
Okay, so
prices start to.
let's talk about weather for a minute, because I think that's really crucial. When is the season that somebody wants to go to the Maldives?
Well, I want to say always after August, September. So I want to say fall is a good time if you want to be price conscious, but also still have good weather. Obviously, winter, Christmas, prices start hiking up. So if you are thinking of that, obviously pre-book, because we do have early booking offers for a lot of the hotels. So just reach out and let us know when are you looking for. But I want to say always between May and August, September is a good time to send clients that is budget wise friendly. It's not.
May to September, but it's super rainy, right?
No, it's actually the same as in the Maldives. It kind of rains, but it rains for like an hour in the morning and then that's it. It might get
Okay, so it's
cloudy,
not like
but it's not going
typhoon,
to rain.
tsunami like
No.
India is in the summer.
No, we can get one kind of storm in about 4 or 5 years if it happens. But if it rains for a certain amount of time during the day, like an hour or two, and then it just clears out. Because again, there's islands. It's not big.
Okay, I'm really surprised that you could do somebody as low as 7,000 a couple for 7,000, which really makes it more affordable than Tahiti in so many ways.
And that's what I'm trying to kind of put out there, because like a lot of the agents are scared because they have seen whatever providers are putting out there. But again, we have hotels like Rio hotels. We have the Hard Rock hotels. We have, if you want to go low, we have even Holiday Inns. But we also have the Baglioni's, we have the Como. So I think we have the whole spectrum of properties. And that's what I want to kind of do this with you, because a lot of people are scared of offering it because they say, oh, that's going to be a $20,000 vacation. No,
Right.
It doesn't have to be $20,000.
I'm a veteran agent and I have never sold anything cheaper than 20,000 to the Maldives. So really what I'm hearing from this that you advisors can tap into and you tour companies can tap into is you can be shifting business from the Caribbean and Mexico to the Maldives with ease, because you could still stay in the same price point that you're doing Hawaii, Caribbean, and Mexico for. Or you can do the high-end over-the-water bungalow. Now, let's talk about over-water bungalows, because there's so many there compared to like Bora Bora, where we're 2,000 a night. Is it priced more competitive in the Maldives for an over-water bungalow?
Yeah, but I think that's why there's so many room types in some hotels, because you do have over-the-water bungalows without a water feature. You have over-the-water bungalows with a water feature that can be a pool, it can be a jacuzzi, it can be a long pool. It can be, like I said, sunset view. It can be a sunrise view. Some of the water bungalows have even slides that go down into the actual sea. So again, it depends on how many rooms, but we've done triples on an over-the-water bungalow for friends. So don't be scared about asking that as well. But I'm like, oh, that's only for a couple. No, some hotels are open to do triples as well. So groups are also very encouraged in the Maldives. I know a lot of the agents have groups every year to the Caribbean or every year to Mexico. Maybe the Maldives might be the destination for next year, for 2023, to do something special and different. And again, maybe extend the vacation, have a stopover before some other destination, and then go down to the Maldives.
So Andrea in North Carolina is saying, is that the price point with air or without air? And I'm going
without
to
air. So Koveli doesn't deal with air. Normally, air obviously is something that it's difficult now this time of the year for the U.S., especially now with the inflation. But again, the Middle Eastern carriers are being the most frequent and the most budget friendly. So Turkish and Qatar are selling really good tickets out of the big hubs in the U.S. So see about that. Also, I'm
that
hearing
answers
that.
Christina's questions in the comments. She says, do you assist with airfare from North America? The answer is no, but they will help with those water and seaplanes getting to the resorts.
Yeah, but if you have any ideas of where you are, we can give you recommendations on flights you might be able to look at, or airlines you might be able to look at. But always look at the Middle Eastern carriers, because the frequency from their hubs to the Maldives is like every day a week. Like 7 days.
So that answers another viewer right now who says, can you talk about flight schedules and how that works with transfers? And I think we kind of talked about that when we first got on, that you can coordinate. And if you need to do a pre-hotel when you land and you don't quite make the seaplane, you guys can deal with that as well. Okay.
So we did have that got that a couple of weeks ago. It was a client that the first client it missed. We had a pre-stay hotel. They didn't get that last leg of flight, so we had to cancel that pre-stay hotel and send them from the airport right to the regular hotel that we're going to stay at. So again, we're local, so we can help if anything shifts for your client. We can help
Right.
you out because we're right there in the Maldives. We're not in the US that has to call someone in the Maldives to kind of figure it out. We're literally right there.
Okay, so it's really important for an advisor to have a budget. Then they contact Koveli Travel, and they're working with an agent there who now is going to help them break down the hotels. Because I would guess that most US agents have no idea what properties are there outside of the St. Regis and a few of the big name
No,
ones.
not at all. And sometimes they just send us a picture. It's like, hey, my client sent me this. Can we get this? And we're like, sure, let me send you the pricing. So again, we know there's a lot of your clients that are very visual about, hey, I saw this in Instagram, I saw this in Facebook, or I saw this in somebody posted this and I want to go to this hotel. And those are things that we can help you out with, which is good. The other thing I think we want to,
Properties do you have? How many properties do you guys have in the portfolio?
I think right now we have over 130 properties, and there are live booking. I think it's about 80 properties. So you can actually book live right there, which is good. Another good thing to know about the Maldives is that very few hotels, unless it's the last minute or a group, they don't take deposits. They normally do a pay by date, which is normally 30 days before, and ours mirrors that. And then we add 2 days or 3 days more. So we send you the emails, but deposits are not normal in the Maldives.
Okay, so they don't do a deposit. So
No,
that's different.
you can
There's
do it
not
yourself for your clients, but us, we don't ask for a deposit. If you client works like that, or you want to work that with a client, we'll take it. But you can book right now and not have a deposit.
I always want to have a deposit because that gives people room to
Exactly.
move.
But also, if you have for 2023, maybe you can still book right now and say, hey, let's just give it a month or 2 months and see how it goes and see how the airfare is. And then we can finally confirm it and put out, the deposit. So again, think about that, guys, because I know 2023 is fast approaching. We do have pricing until December of 2023, but we can find 2024 and 2025 now. So again, don't close yourself, because I know the environment right now is very difficult for abroad travel, but don't close yourself for 2023.
Okay, before we move on to the booking process, I have a question. Food is always super outrageous, like in Tahiti. I've heard in Maldives too. What do you recommend when people go there? Do they want to do an all-inclusive, or do all properties offer all-inclusives, or how does that work?
So yeah, so we all our properties offer all inclusive because it's a one island, one resort type of configuration. So you're basically gonna be on an island in the hotel, in that only hotel, unless you have sister properties. Like Rio has 2 sister properties together, but that's a whole different thing. But most of the resorts are just alone, and they do have boards. It can be bed and breakfast, half board, full board, all inclusive, and then you have the all inclusives plus as well. But that depends on how your client wants to do it. If they want to do a bed and breakfast because they only do breakfast and light dinner, and they want to buy dinner, they can do that themselves. If they want to have the whole experience, they can do that themselves. There are some inclusions in the all inclusive, obviously, that we can show you guys. That's all part of the when we send out the quote. There are some properties that have only one type of all-inclusive. Like we have one property that's a private island of only 15 rooms, and the all-inclusive, it's anywhere, anytime, anywhere, anytime, anyhow, or something like that. And it's basically whatever your client wants at any time, they're gonna make it happen. But that's a $5,000 a night property. So again, there's levels.
And we all want to stay there. Okay.
No,
So
I want to stay there.
now you've gone ahead and quoted 2 or 3 resorts. The clients decided where they want to go. What is the process then? So you said they could take a deposit or not take a deposit, but it's a paid in full feature at a certain date. Here's where advisors get really antsy is what's the process from there on out, and what are kind of the terms and conditions that accompany that? And I know we've talked about that extensively over the last year, just for my own agency.
So we basically mirror the same cancellation policy as the hotels. We will send you emails depending on how you guys want to feature it. We can do every 3 months, we'll send you an email of a reminder payment based on whatever invoice you have open. For example, if you have a client that wants to pay every 3 months an amount, then we can configure it to do that, depending on how you want to do it. You can book and pay in full if you want to, or like I said, there's some agents, depending on how your agency is configured, that they are the ones that handle the payment, so they can pay 30 or normally 32 days before travel time, or before the cancellation period. And that's something that we can take EFT bank transfers, and we can take also credit cards. But you can set up your own type of payment plan depending on the one. If you want to take deposit now for December 2023 booking, we have no problem with that.
Okay, so obviously you're selling on net pricing to the agents,
We
or
sell
is it
net or commissionable depending on what the agent wants.
so net or commissionable? You'll have to check with your agency how they want to handle that. And then do you remit if they're doing commissionable? Do you just remit that back to their bank account or to their agency then?
Yes, depending on how they want. We normally do bank transfers back when travel is completed. So we don't normally we don't do pre because obviously we all know what happened in the pandemic. So we are sticking to the rules of once they travel, we pay commissions.
Okay. So my next question is, why would an advisor want to use you as a DMC versus going directly with the hotel? And then to set this up, my second question is going to be the tax issue. Because I know that's tricky with the Maldives as well. So let's go to that first question. You're on the hot seat today.
Okay, so right now we are kind of we're probably going to change the banking. There's been a lot of problems. I don't know if whoever has sold the Maldives with banking in the Maldives because they only can use one bank, which is the Bank of the Maldives, and their IT program is not the best IT program. So we've had a lot of hotels that really have lost payments, that payments don't go through, and we know that, we've heard that. So what we're trying to do is change our banking system to another Middle Eastern country, which will that help us with the taxation part of it. If we get paid through another country, then once we remit payment back, it'll be less money out. But yes, we are dealing with that. And again, we hopefully will have that done by the end of June. And we'll unveil that for you guys, because I know we've had a couple of agents that we've had to send 2 or 3 payment links from Bank of Maldives because they really don't work. And it's just like, we can't help it out.
And so, like you said, a client can pay a credit card.
Yes, of course. Credit card or EFT, we have no problem with that.
A lot of agencies, host agencies in the United States won't let them do like a wire. So
that depends on how the client is working with us. If they do net fares, we can do either credit card or EFTs. But normally for commissionables, credit card is normal.
Okay. And so explain to us how the taxes work. Do they book with you and then they have a big tax worked on it, or?
So taxes and fees are basically all included in our price. The difference of the taxation is for commission. So whenever you guys do business with the Maldives, whenever you send money out of the country has a 25% tax. And that's something that we have put into our commissionable structure. And that's something that we have to, obviously net fares, normally we don't upsell. It's just a net fare. So it's clean through. So there is no commission to be paid back. But for commissionable, that's what we're trying to change. And that way we can actually increase our commission, because right now we are competitive in pricing and we may not be the best or the most competitive on commission structure, but we do have the inventory. So instead of selling a $15,000 hotel, we have a $7,000 hotel with a less commission, but that hopefully it'll change in about a couple of weeks.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is if you want to determine your own commission, then sell it on net. And then you've got to be competitive with what obviously the website and the mass market is selling that for. And then with them, they can give you a commission structure rate. They've got the taxes worked into that, so you don't get screwed when it comes back to you. And they are trying to up their game with their commissions to be more competitive, to help you sell and grow more, is what I'm getting from this. Okay. Talk to me about your booking engine, because you said it's state of the art.
Yes. So Koveli.live is basically just like a booking.com of the Maldives. It's basically all the hotels are there. You can actually filter it out by price range. We're going to filter out also by niche market soon, like romance, all-inclusive, wellness, adventure, family-friendly, which is another big thing that people don't get about the Maldives. There's a lot of family-friendly hotels, destinations out there, which is great. And you can also sort it out by, I think the last one, luxury, ultra lux. So the really, really high-end properties. Booking engine works like any other booking engine, minus that we only offer you and not really show you the properties that are going to be available. So that means that you can actually research first, if you want to research first and see properties that are available on the time frame that your client wants to go, and then come back. Again, you can book right there. You have the cancellation policies, the hotel description, so everything is very well thought out. all the prices there. It will include the seaplane transfers. And we also will give you the finalized offer. So if there's a early booking offer, 25% off, we'll show you that as well. But again, it's very, very straightforward. If you guys want to have a little demo, you can email me at danielsd@koveli.com, and I will give you gladly a small run through 5-10 minutes for you can see how you can use it. And that's about it. But it's really amazing property for you guys, a booking for you guys to use just to research, really.
Yeah, I love that so much. I do love the point that you brought up families, because I don't think people really associate the Maldives with family travel. They think it's all romance and over water. But families love to go there. European families have been going there for, I swear, centuries.
Since the 70s. Yeah, since the 70s, since 77, I think the first one. It was a family-friendly resort. It wasn't even a romantic resort. The first resort in Maldives was a family-friendly resort made by a British guy because his family loved the Maldives.
Yeah, so much. Okay, we only have a few more minutes. Like, can you give us some booking strategies that people can walk away with today to help them close more business? And what would be some of your top tips?
Well, I think the Maldives, first of all, idyllic destination if you want peace. The one thing that I say a lot of people is like, if you compare, you can't compare the Caribbean to the Maldives or Mexico, because you're not going to be fighting for a chair in the pool or in the beach. This is resorts that are completely secluded, that can be as small as 15 rooms or as big as 100 rooms. So again, it's not 3,000 people in one resort, it's 200, it's 300 people. So the relaxation and the customer service level is a little bit more personalized and more, I want to say, everlasting than in the Mexico and other all-inclusives. So I think that's a really, really good point for you to make. Also, families.
Let me just say on that, how do we ever have people that feel like, oh, that might be boring for me because now I'm kind of, I mean, it says nobody ever, but honestly, like I kind of feel like I've thought of the Maldives for myself, and I'm like, oh, I'd be good for 3 or 4 days, but would I be going crazy after 7 or 8? Just
so we normally say, yeah, 7 days is good enough to completely relax and kind of do stuff. Remember that we also at the first day too, you're still kind of jet lagged. You have time to do tours. Like there are a lot of things to do around the resorts. So you have reefs all over. So if you want to do snorkeling, if you want to do kayaking, if you want to do bike riding, if you want to do anything, you can still do small active stuff around. And then again, you have the spa side, which again, every resort has an amazing spa. So you can have a spa day. And then that's what, the sixth day. And then you have one more day to go back. So again, it doesn't feel like it's really long once you get there, because you do have the long trip to kind of recover from. You do have things that you want to discover around the property first, and then you just want to really unwind in the last 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so back to your strategies, because I had to interrupt that. That was my own personal question. Will I be so bored? Okay. Okay, so back to your strategies. We talked about, I'm losing it.
Well, I forgot about the peaceful nature of it. Like it's really idyllic.
That's right. Okay.
Nature is big in the Maldives. Nature is big in the Maldives. So if your client likes to see any type of sea animal out there, is amazing. Snorkeling. Obviously, romance is a really good tip for you guys. I don't only think about honeymoons when I say romance, and a lot of people think about that on the Maldives, but proposals. We just sent somebody on their 30th wedding anniversary trip, and they had a dinner at the underwater restaurant. They had an amazing time. So I think also don't think about one side of the romance side is also good for the Maldives. And third, it's the same as selling Tahiti. I think a lot of people are really scared about how far it is. And it really is not that far. If you're sending people to India, if you're sending people to West Europe, you can send people to the Maldives. And I think that's something that I really want you guys to take away from this. Do not be scared of the destination, because I think a lot of people are really scared. We're here to help you out.
You're so right. I feel like agents shy away from things they have not seen, and they don't sell it because they're like, ooh, I didn't go there. I didn't step foot on the ground. I'm not an expert. You can be an expert. Being an expert in travel is about knowing your geography, knowing your resorts, being able to talk reasonable with people. I certainly can't go everywhere in the world, although I want to. But you can be selling the Maldives and not have even stepped foot on the Maldives, no problem. You don't need to wait to get there to do that. You are in control of what you shift your business to, and you can determine if you have clients, you can cross-sell them, like I said, over from the Caribbean and Mexico, even Tahiti. I feel like Tahiti, the price point on Tahiti, I was telling him right before we started, I have a client that just spent $75,000 in Tahiti. And really, you can do it cheaper. And everybody just wants that overwater bungalow, like just photograph
Experience.
that Instagram. And it's so much cheaper to do that in the Maldives, although the stretch is further. Well, depending really on what side of the country you're on. So,
Exactly. No, and then one thing I want to say too, expert also makes you have a good partner. So if you have a good partner, you
yes,
don't have to visit the destination as long as you have someone that knows what they're selling, that they have been and that can give you a first-hand experience of what it is being the resort. That makes you also an expert because we are here
yeah,
to share the knowledge. Again, you don't have to be there,
right.
but we can actually share the knowledge that we have. And I think that's very
Yeah,
important
I'm
as
so
well.
great that you're grateful that you brought that up because I just put that in my last Facebook post, a personal post that I did. Somebody asked me that exact same question. How can, we tout that we're experts. How can you be an expert in everything? And it really is in the relationship. Okay, we have just a couple questions coming through. Do you still have time? Because I know
Yeah,
we've
of course.
gone over. Okay,
I'm here.
the first one is, and I'll just answer this one. Is this recorded? Yes, it'll be evolving in this group forever. It'll always be in here that you can come back and watch this if you just tuned in late. It's in this Facebook group. It's also on my YouTube channel, Trips and Ships. And we'll be sending out an email if you're on my mailing list. If not, get in my Facebook group, go to the top and scroll to my mailing list and you can join there. I send out all the recordings right after this, and it'll also be on LinkedIn. And then it'll also probably be shared to his Facebook group that you're going to join
And
as
probably
well.
Koveli's too as well.
Okay, and okay, somebody said, what are your preferred tour operators? Well, he is the tour operator. He is the destination management company. So he's not representing the tourist board per se. He is your preferred tour operator. Okay.
And
Koveli
we do
Travel.
sell to tour operators as well. So we are suppliers to some of the tour operators that are actually in the US as well.
Yeah. So you might be
Small time,
surprised that your tour operator in the United States is
buying from
working
me.
for them as well. Okay. Somebody said, what is your Facebook group name again? Can you give that to us one more time?
Maldives for US travel agents by Koveli at the end. But
Yeah.
you can send me an
And we'll
email,
tag that.
danielsd@koveli.com, and I'll send you an invite.
Yeah, and he'll put all of that in the comments as well. Okay. Christina's asking, do you have a non-refundable deposit?
So again, it's up to you guys, depending on what you guys want to do, and depends on the hotels. But deposits, it's all you. The non-refundable, it doesn't work with us. That
And Christina, you might have missed this because Maldives doesn't do deposits. They just do one final payment.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was mentioning that I feel like as an advisor, I always want to take a deposit. So you can take a deposit. They'll accept that. I don't want anybody to have not a deposit and just kind of like, hey, let me know in September if you're ready to pay. Because
yes. What we'll tell you is that we do have time frames, and some of them say, hey, if you cancel 60 days before travel time, we're gonna take 10% of the whatever you have paid for. So again, yeah, refunds are normal out there. So if you do have a deposit and you cancel it on time, that should be refunded to you from the hotel, no problem.
Okay, somebody's asking for the link to his Facebook page. Yes, we'll put that in the group. And yes, I'll put my mailing list in there as well. Okay, another question is, can you briefly talk about the taxation process again and the net rates? I'm still confused.
So net rates are just plain net rates where we don't add any commissions. So it's a just sell through to the agents. Now the commissionable structure, we have to add a commission because we have to send money out of the Maldives. The Maldives takes 25% taxation out of that commission, but we've already built that in. So again, once you receive the commission, the final commission, that's going to be a commission. You don't have to think about taxation on that side.
And what if they're doing a gross amount with you and it's commissionable? What is the rate, or is that based on agency?
We're
production?
starting at 10% commission as of right now, but again, our prices are lower than all the tour operators. So it depends on how your client wants to reach out. But if we do the change to this new banking, we're going to start thinking about 12%, 12.5% over, depending on production. Remember that the Maldives is very small properties. So a lot of the fam trips and a lot of the stuff that we do is based on night productions.
Okay, speaking of fam trips, I know that we
We
want
have
to
been
have
talking about
something.
one. Yes.
We were going to do something in June. I didn't pull it together, but I know a couple of you have asked me about it that are watching. We're still in discussions and still working on that. We would love to get something together with Koveli to get you guys, the Luxury Travel University Lux Tribe, over to the Maldives.
Maybe fall. Maybe fall might be the time. So we'll revisit again. But again, if you guys want to go, if you're doing a trip out there, we do agent rates as well. So again, we can help you guys out if you are doing Africa and want to extend it. We just had somebody was in Dubai and just change your flight and be like, I'll be there for 3 days. We can do that as well. So again,
if
don't
you're
be scared
interested
about
in a
reaching
fam, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in a fam. Okay, so yeah, someone was saying because I was burned, like many of us were during COVID, with companies closing, bankruptcy, they spent most of. I'm so blind, I can't see that.
Don't worry. So we are basically very financially sound. One of the partners that we have, a co-owner, actually owns 9 resorts, well, 17 resorts, 9 branded resorts from their own company, as well as they own part of the hospital of the Maldives and part of the airport. So we are very financially sound as a company.
Okay, let's see if we've got any more questions. We have really good questions, I think, this go around. Anything else that you want to close up with before we
well, I just want to put out there that, guys, we're here to help you out. Like I said, we kind of spoke about this before. We understand that this is a very difficult environment to travel right now. We know inflation, apart from the gas prices, airfare is crazy expensive. We all know that. But again, there is a future in travel. There is other dates. So do not close yourself about pitching your clients for a 2023 booking. Groups, we encourage you guys, please. We do a lot of groups. Again, destination weddings are something that people don't see it, but we do elopements a lot. Maybe 3 couple of friends and then one getting married do a lot. So again, what I want you to see is the Maldives is just not for one type of client. So please, any type of questions that you guys have, we're a soundboard. So just ask us as well. If you guys are ready to start creating groups, we're here to help you out. So again, see us as your partner instead of being a TO that just puts out their properties and just choose from there. We can cater and we can create something special for you guys.
Okay, we do have a couple more questions. I'm sorry to keep you on.
No, I'm here for the whole day.
Engaged today. Somebody's asking, what's a good age you recommend for clients with children to travel to the area?
Well, we've had small children going. Normally not. They have a stopover. But I have clients go with 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds. There's a lot of different kind of young stuff happening. For example, there's a property that has a soccer camp for summer. So people are doing that. So it can be, I want to say 13, 14 over is good. There are some properties that are adults only properties. There are adult properties that are, family friendly with an adults only side. So again, there are options depending on what you guys want to do. But we have properties like the JW Marriott that have the JW Kids Club. You have hotels that have babysitting all throughout the night if you need to. So again, it's very, very family friendly as a destination.
Okay, one more question. So do you have a specialist component?
We want to start doing that. I was actually talking to Craig about this to kind of do a Maldives destination kind of specialist training. But if you do want to have a destination training, we are going to start scheduling those once a month for you guys to come in 20 to 25 minutes. The program will probably be done by later in the year, but we do want to have a specialist program for you guys to have not only that, but also to put it on your signatures and kind of have that out there for your clients.
Yeah, and we'll also have one that comes through our pro series, How to Sell Travel Like a Pro, where we do the different destinations. That's on our agenda.
And we thought about that as well, kind of using the Luxury Travel University as a sounding board to do a specialist program. So maybe we can talk about this later on, Angela.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like this has been so great. If you've liked today, let us know in the comments. I feel like this has been a really great training, and we usually have a ton of PowerPoints and different things, but I feel like this method of just answering questions and talking has been really beneficial. Yes. And we're so thankful for you, Danielle, to jump on with us and to help everybody grow their business. So thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Angela Hughes, the Luxury Travel Entrepreneur, and stay tuned in this Facebook group for the Luxury Travel University. We have all different marketing strategies to help you grow your business. See you later.
Bye-bye, guys.